The preservation plan would keep condos like this one from springing up on many streets. Eric Pagan was a single father who took a second job at Forbidden City to support his 2 children. Fare increases and station closings are just some of the problems facing subway riders. The mural is scheduled to be here in Times Square until April 30th. The protesters outside say they'll be here until the very end. The senator's legacy will be that of his political controversy or of his contributions to the neighborhood. Despite concerns, police say there's no reason to stop going to the dog park. As long as you keep an eye on your pooch and make sure he doesn't eat any food found on the ground, you should be good to go. 42nd Street in Times Square is a playground of theaters and amusements. Now it is also home to a questionable piece of public art. A mural there features Black and Latina women in heavy makeup, tight shirts, and suggestive poses. Many believe the representation of women isn't flattering.
The mural has a sort of creepy sleaze factor to it, with the long fingernails and the way that they're dressed.
What does the posture kind of evoke to you? What does it make you think?
Hooker.
Most of the African American women that I know look a lot like me. You know, we're just normal housewives.
Others worry about the artist's intent.
I hope it's not a generalization of Hispanic and African American women.
The mural was erected early last week. Since then, a flood of controversy has followed. Sofia Maldonado, the Puerto Rican-born Brooklyn artist who created the mural, says she based the characters on specific women she met in Hartford, Connecticut. She says people have misinterpreted her art.
I want to represent the Caribbean through my murals. People say like, oh, we're not like that. Well, I'm not saying we are all like that.
The Times Square Alliance sponsored the mural. They issued this statement. While numerous people have reacted positively to the work and the artist's intent, we are sorry that some others have found it offensive or disrespectful. It certainly was not our intent. For some people, the work just provokes mixed feelings.
I don't necessarily see our women like that, but I still appreciate the art.
The mural is scheduled to be here in Times Square until April 30th. In the meantime, it's sure to create more conversation and perhaps a bit more controversy. LAdkins, Columbia News Tonight. Espada lists his residence as being here in the Bronx's Bedford Park neighborhood, but neighbors say he doesn't actually live here.
Never. I've never yet to see him.
In fact, he's believed to live outside of the district, in Westchester. The Bedford Park residents we talked to say that in wake of the latest allegations, they're not likely to re-elect him.
For anybody that's into this scandals, any scandals, I wouldn't vote for them, because if you were doing it, they wouldn't vote for you. You know, that's the way I think. If you do it, they wouldn't vote for you.
Did you use company funds?
Espada himself denies all the charges against him.
The fact of the matter is that it never reached my pockets.
Even before the latest allegations, one Bronx political organization was looking to get rid of Espada.
Since the first day of Senator Espada's election, there have been many people in this neighborhood that are looking for new and fresh leadership.
2 candidates have already announced that they'll run against Espada in the fall primary. Any opponent is likely to capitalize on the wave of negative feelings the community has towards Espada.
Hey, he's an elected official. He gained the trust and the confidence of the people. We put him in office, and if he's betrayed that trust, he should go to jail. If you commit a crime, you have to do the time.
So far, Senator Espada's medical clinics remain largely unaffected. However, it remains to be seen whether the senator's legacy will be that of his political controversy or of his contributions to the neighborhood. LAdkins, Columbia News Tonight. Good Friday is the holiest day of remembrance for Catholics worldwide. But in Midtown, some followers asked for a different kind of remembrance.
Jesus never promised us that the church would be perfect, and there's been sin in it since the beginning.
Advocates for victims of sexual abuse within the Catholic Church stood outside of St. Patrick's Cathedral. Armed with pictures and handouts, they reminded parishioners of the church's continuing scandal. Many parishioners didn't seem to mind.
You know, being abused is something really horrible that someone has to go through. You know, why hide what they're feeling?
I guess there's a good time and a good time and wrong time to do it. I think this is the wrong time to do it on Good Friday. Obviously, there's some reasons for doing that.
The demonstrators say their presence on Good Friday could benefit the church, not harm it.
I think it's the most appropriate day of the year that we can do this. I think for those who love their church, they want to see the black spot removed and the brightness and the whiteness and the light of the Holy Spirit come back into the church.
In an interview yesterday, New York Archbishop Timothy Dolan said he wondered if the media's coverage of the Catholic Church scandals has an agenda of bias. He acknowledged that some bishops were less than rigorous in trying to root out the abuse, but he defended the Pope. Police prevented the advocates from leading a prayer on the steps of the church.
Sorry, you can stand down here all you want. I don't care.
The conflict outside was in contrast to the atmosphere inside the cathedral.
Somber, quiet.
Mass will go on inside of St. Patrick's Cathedral until 3 p.m. Protesters say they'll be outside until the end as well. LAdkins, Columbia News Tonight. Here's the latest. Here in New York, prosecutors say one of al-Qaeda's senior operations planners was behind the plot to bomb New York City subways last year. Today, President Obama was in West Virginia to deliver a eulogy at the memorial service for 29 workers killed in an April coal mine collapse. It takes as much as $10,000 to go to barber school in New York City. But in tough times, not everyone can foot the bill. Lysacek is the first American to take the gold in men's figure skating in 22 years.